G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Okay, so we are back in the installed version of Ubuntu Budgie 18.04 long-term support. This is the first greeting screen that we meet is Budgie welcome. So you have browser palette. You can install the browser of your choice in here. Very nice. Comes default with Chromium. Customization, it will show you how to customize your Budgie desktop settings and also the settings. They are two different things. So that's interesting, I didn't notice either. Budgie desktop settings, Budgie Applets, and where's the settings? Settings, okay. So what I would like to see actually is if Budgie could make a different icon for the Budgie desktop settings. And I see it's got a different icon here. That would be nice if it did have. That's what I was just looking for. I thought they might have changed it. So it would be good to sort of give those two applications a different identity, I believe, would be a great idea. So if we was to click on this, it'll show you Budgie settings. Now you can also get to those from here. Same thing, so let's close that and we can get to it from here, which is that one, or you can also get to it from the menu, which will be, comes up here under all, Budgie desktop settings, but system tools, it's more than likely under there. There it is. Okay, so and administration, where's settings? Preferences will be settings under there. Okay, so there's your settings there. Settings, and then you can run through your settings for the system-wide settings. Budgie desktop settings are mainly for theming and applets on your panels and so forth. So there's your settings there. So that just shows you what the settings look like, and then you can go through that and then you can find it under preferences there. Okay. Keyboard shortcuts, it'll give you a list of keyboard shortcuts. So you can go through those. They can make you very efficient on the computer if you get to know some of these shortcuts. I don't get to know them too well because I'm busy jumping from one distro to another. But if I am to use something very regular, I will get to know them because it can be quite handy. You got your updates and extras. So check for updates. Install restricted extras, which helps with playing DVDs and so forth. So you can do that. So I'll run through this first before I click on any of those. Your drivers, additional drivers. So if you click on that, it'll show you what drivers you can install. I'm running NVIDIA here, but I'm not sure whether I want to install that because it doesn't normally work anyway. And this one is, what's this one? Language and inputs. iBus is active. Yeah, because I'm not sure what that's for, but I know that the USB doesn't work on live disk, so I don't know what that's all about. So we provide an option to switch between two widely used keyboard entry layouts, iBus and FCITX. Free Chinese input toy for X. Okay, so I don't really know what. So, yep. So I suppose if you're from any of those countries, that would be handy for you. Optional tasks. Backup. So you can do a backup with Deja Dupe. It's a powerful backup utility that can be installed in Ubuntu Budgie and supports backups to local devices as well as online cloud-based services. Firewall. you can install that, and then you just on the status here, just click that, toggle that on, and your firewall is running. That's after you've installed it. And to run it, it uses UFW, but you'll find UFW or GUFW somewhere in the menu here. Just type it and you'll find it. And you can configure users. That was the optional tasks, I believe. Yes, that was the optional tasks. And also it gives you your system specifications. Take note of these, because if you're going to have any problems and you want to go to, if you're going to go to a bug, if you've got any bug issues and you go to the Ubuntu Budgie bug site and you want to tell them you've got a bug or something, they may need this information of your computer, so it helps them in recognizing possibly what the problem could be. Let's go to recommendations. Enable Ubuntu Budgie backports. Let's do that. Dropbox. I don't really use Dropbox. Install and configure Flatpak. And Snap is already installed by default. And that's install and configure Flatpak as well. We can do restricted extras. If you forget that, just do a sudo apt install Ubuntu restricted extras password, and that'll do that for you, just in case you miss that as well. That's what it'll basically be doing, and then we can do an update as well. I don't think there'll be much to update anyway, I wouldn't think. Just press the tab key, it goes to OK, press enter. Tab key again, do you accept the EULA? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I've restarted the system. I'm going to try that again. Hopefully it's not locked, because sometimes it is checking for updates on first start. So it's already installed. Okay. Sorry, sudo apt update. Let's try that. It's just another way of showing you how to do your updates. I don't think all packages are up to date, so that's fine. Okay. So let's have a look at introduction. Oh, there might be yep, okay, introduction, features, that's full screen, this probably easier. Getting started, updates and extras, okay, maybe it's in there. Restricted extras, it's there, okay, so it is there after the, yeah, that's just me forgetting things, so that's pretty much the same menu, isn't it? Oh, okay, so it's under getting started, that's where it is. So if you lose that first Budgie welcome, it's under getting started with the original or the main welcome screen, getting started, and then it's all under there. Okay, so we've been through that. So if we just, let's just go back to there. Sorry for clicking backwards and forwards so much. Updates and extras, check for updates. It should do the same as what I just did. And it'll probably say everything's up to date. So you've seen the graphical way and you've also seen the terminal way. So, okay. We like to stick to the graphical way here if we can. It's probably best. Okay. So now we've got recommendations, which we've been through. We installed the back ports and we installed Flatpak. Now the back ports, if they've got any packages which have been updated after release, then they're backported using this, so it can be installed on the up-to-date system. So it's recommended to enable the Ubuntu Budgie backports. Default settings, which is the appearance. So default settings here. If you're messing around with your panel in Budgie Settings, like so, when you add widgets and you change your panel to the bottom and all that sort of thing, settings, you can go to the top, bottom, left or right, and you do a whole heap of things, and maybe you've lost something, you've messed something up, you're not sure how to get it back. Just reset Budgie panel and it'll probably look exactly how it is now, back to the start. That's very handy. And also you got some themes here, so you can apply these themes, or you can install them and then apply them. So there's a heap of different themes there you might want to try. Very nice. There's two themes by default that are installed, the Arc and the Pachillo. I think we're running the Pachillo. I quite like this theme, it's nice. And then you can install software, Flatpak, SnapApps, the Software Center and Budgie Applets. So let's have a look at the Budgie Applets. I've gone through a lot of these on a previous video. So there's no, I don't think there's any new implementations except for the window shuffler. These I've done, the video that I did was on all of these. I can put a link to that video on the show notes. I haven't quite worked out how to put links within the video. I think it's on YouTube. I haven't worked that out yet. So bit behind on that. Software Center. Welcome to software. Let's go shopping. That opened up pretty quickly. That's pretty good. So like I said in a previous video, most of these editors picks will be part of the Ubuntu repositories. But if you do a search, so what would have more than one? Probably GIMP might have. If we click on GIMP and we go down, that's from Snap Store, that one. But if we do a search for GIMP, wrong keyboard, GIMP, and let's do a search on that. So now you'll see there's two GIMPs. So let's click on the first one. That's from the Snap Store. The second one is from the Ubuntu Bionic Universe, which is the Ubuntu repositories. So you might want to check that whether you want the Snap version or whether you want from just the standard Ubuntu repositories. Now this one here is 2.8.22-1 from the Ubuntu repos, and this is 22, so I'd have to think -1 is maybe more up to date than the Snap. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about that. So when you're installing software from the Software Center, always make sure that you're installing it from the source that you want to install it from. So this one here, Handbrake JZ, that will be a Snap or a Flatpak. It's a Snap, okay. So if it doesn't just say Handbrake, it's got an extension on it. Normally it's a Snap or it's a Flatpak. So that's the Software Center. Budgie Applets, we've looked at that. You got Flatpaks. That'll take you to the Flatpak website. But more than likely now, the Flatpaks will be part of the Software Center, I would have thought. So that hasn't taken us anywhere yet. Snap apps. I think they're integrated. I'm pretty sure they are all integrated. Oh, there we go, it's loading up now. So let's have a look at the Flatpak's popular apps. So that's the Flat Hub. So if we click install, you'd have to think it would install. So you need to do that to install, or it should just... So it's downloading that. So let's see what happens with the downloaded ones. I didn't see that download down there. Okay, so if we double click that, it will take us, it looks like, to the software center. Now whether the support has been added since we installed the Flatpak, I think I've restarted since then. So, oh, there it is. So GIMP. So now that's the Flat Hub. There's your source, there's Flat Hub. So what version is that? It doesn't say. Version stable. Okay, so it doesn't say what version is. So now, when you go to the Flat Hub and you download these, don't ignore that. That was just a second download, so I'll move that to rubbish bin. So now when you double click on that, it used to take you to the website and you had to do it by through the terminal. Copy and paste these into the terminal. Now it's integrated into the software center, which is good to see. I'm happy to see that. So that's how that works. So software center, I've closed it, haven't I think? Oh no, there it is. So you can just click install if you want it from the Flat Hub. So that's how that works. And probably the same with Snap apps. UA App Explorer. Click on Snaps here, which is probably is, and then what's a good one to look at? Oh, I don't recognize any of these. So we can install MailSpring, because I do use that. So if you click on that, it takes you to the install. So it tells you about it. It's got description and all. Probably tell you the version, maybe. Version 1.2.1. Click install. Open with XDG, which will take you to the software center, and click on install. Let's just do that anyway. Put in your password. And MailSpring is installing, so that's pretty handy. So there's a lot of integration for software with Flatpaks and Snap apps now, or Snaps. And if we just have a quick look on the all, just run through those, you can have a quick look. What's installed by default. LibreOffice. Rhythmbox is your music player out of the box. A lot of people seem to like Clementine. I like MPV. I'm not sure if MPV was there. So you have all that. You got weather. Let's go to M. Thought they normally use MPV, but they've got sound and video. Oh, GNOME MPV. It's under G. Okay. So that's everything installed there. Folders and all my other partitions come up as well. So that's quite an extensive list. And you got your notepad. or your little note taker there. And also if we go to, you can select your output speakers and your input microphone, and then you've got the Budgie desktop settings. You can choose different icons and widgets there. Dark theme, built-in theme. So the built-in theme, if you go to the top panel and go to the settings and you want transparency always, turn off shadow. Now transparency always also comes back to the style, and I think if you check the built-in theme, then it goes transparent. So there's two things you have to do there for the transparency to take place. You go to the panel settings, you make it transparency always, and then you go to the style, and then you toggle on the built-in theme, and then it's completely transparent. Now if you want the shadow, then you can toggle on the shadow. There's a shadow there. I prefer to keep that off, that looks better. So, and then it comes down to now applets. You can add applets, and you can add what you like there. But when it comes to the applets, if we go to the Budgie welcome, if we go to Budgie applets, the ones that say install will not be in this list yet. You need to install them. And if they're only used with a key combination, then it won't. It more than likely sometimes will show up here, or sometimes it won't. The one that doesn't show up here, and I'll show you, is if we go to settings, we go to devices and keyboard. Now if we scroll down to the bottom, we have the window shuffler, which is Super S. Now I did a video on this not long ago, so if we go Super S, now we can shuffle the window. Now I've got to remember how this works now. If we add a column, you can press the right button, the right arrow, to add a column. There you go, and it goes to a maximum of 6. Keep pressing, it won't go anymore, and you can do that. So you can shuffle your windows in any square you want. So the existing, if I click on this window and I go, I want that window to go in the corner, like so, and the more squares you have, the smaller it becomes, so you can fit more windows on the screen. But if I want it to take half the screen, then I have to, let's see, shift and click. So if I hold the shift button and I go half or a quarter there, it'll go quarter. Or if I want half the screen, click on that, hold shift button, go half the screen. So you have to click where you want it to start first, and then hold the shift button and then click it where you want to. So if I just click that, it goes small. Now if I arrow up, it'll get rid of the squares, and if I arrow left, it'll get rid of those squares. If I leave it on 4, then that window will become a quarter of the screen. So that shuffler, depending on how many squares you have, it becomes part of the screen itself. It's divided. The squares are divided for the size of the screen. So, if that makes sense. So, what you can also do is, let's just say we want 3 squares up and down, and if I open a few items here, let's go 1, 2, 3. That we need 9 things open if that's possible. So we can go this one here in the corner, this one here underneath it, and this one here underneath that, and we can probably take, let's open Rhythmbox, let's open LibreOffice. I've already got this open as well. So if we click on that and we put that here. Okay, that's just waiting for that one here. And then we put this one underneath it, and then we put even this one here, like so. And if we got any more open, probably have. Let's just move these screens. Oh, that's that. So the welcome screen, if we click on some of these and we'll know whether they're in, and we'll do that one as well, and that one can go there. And what else can we do? Simple screen recorder, there it is there. Let's put that one here, like so. Now that one's not a good example, I don't think. Now what we can do is open two more, new window and a new window, documents and videos. So that one can go here and this one can go there. So that's how you can spread them out and escape to get rid of your squares. Super S to bring it back up again, and then you can take a snapshot of the current layout. So let's take a snapshot. Now we've done a snapshot. If we have a look at the shuffler, this one here, so restore layout to snapshot, you press the letter U, but you got to go Alt, Super and S again to open it, and then you press the letter U. But what we can do is we shuffle these around. If we shuffle all these around and we move them around and we like them the way they were before, we just go U for snapshot, and then it puts them back in the same position again. Now, if we have a look at this and I opens up this window here, you can also press A to arrange all windows to the grid. So if we press A, it'll arrange them to the grid, but if they've been shuffled around, they won't be in the same order. That will just randomly go back into shape. But if you press U, it'll go back in the order that you had them originally, like so. So I've messed that up a little bit, but that's all right. I think you get the idea. So U and A are the ones, let's go A, it puts them back. So it aligns them to what the grid is. So if we was to change that grid and press A, you'll have some spaces show up because it will align to that grid. There you go. So it aligns in order of, so it fits, it'll fit 4 along there, then it'll start along the bottom, then it'll follow along the bottom again like so. So that's how it arranges it. If we press A, it'll put them randomly back into order. Maybe not anymore. No, it's not doing that anymore. U puts it back there, and A. Oh yes, of course A is going to go like that because I've got to get rid of those squares. So if we go A and U is the original. Yeah, I had this messed up, didn't I? This one should be here, like so. Let's take a snapshot of that. And then we can put that down there, put this over here, put that over there, whatever. And then we press U, puts them back into position. And even if you close, escape will close the window shuffler. Alt S, Super S, Windows key or Super key S will open it again. You can go A again for random, or U to put them back as they were. So that's how the window shuffler works. So if I go to Windows only and go U or A to the grid, it'll align them to the grid, and you'll probably find that the others have gone behind because they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just going to go 4 by 4 behind each other. So we can close that and close all these. Now, if we close all these and we open Window Shuffler up again, I'm just interested to see whether it actually shuffles back to the way we had it. Let's have a look. So let's close that. Now, Super Key S, Window Shuffler, that's press U. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't remember them because I've closed them all. A, nothing. So once you've closed them all, there's no memory there. So that's the Window Shuffler. Just delete notifications. So that is a quick look, well, not really a quick look around Ubuntu Budgie 1804 long-term support. I haven't covered everything, but I think in general I've covered most things, and you could probably look back through my videos and have a look at some of the more in-depth things you can do with some of the applets if you need to know that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.